This is IGN. Wes Anderson's new comedy is funny, visually inventive, and kind of disappointing. This is your IGN review of The Phoenician Scheme by A.A. Dowd. To fixate only on Wes Anderson's whimsicality, as detractors and fans alike so often do, is to miss the moonrise kingdom for the trees. Yes, the man loves his fancifully artificial worlds, but they're not as airtight as they appear. The darkness of real life keeps breaching their colorful dollhouse walls. That was true of the Grand Budapest Hotel and Isle of Dogs, delightful capers that smuggled in timely warnings about creeping fascism. And it's true, in a wry and almost perverse sense, of the writer-director's latest concoction, The Phoenician Scheme, the first Wes Anderson movie in ages that feels less than the sum of its meticulously arranged parts. Though set, like many of his other films, in a hyper-stylized recreation of the past, this zany comedy feels awfully topical in its focus on a wealthy mogul pursuing profit without scruples, screwing over business partners, and subjecting the markets to his whims. What could be more provocative right at this moment than asking audiences to root for one of the richest men in the world? Not that there's anything terribly modern or Muskian about Anatoly Zsa-Zsa Korda, the dashing, amoral 1950s Euro industrialist Benicio del Toro plays with a deadpan squint in the spinning top of a movie. Our contemporary real-life robber barons, the titans of tech, have no style or mystery to speak of. Korda has both to spare. He is a classic Andersonian protagonist, incorrigible, inscrutable, impeccably dressed, an absentee father of the kind Bill Murray and Gene Hackman memorably devised for Anderson. He may well be immortal, too. The Phoenician Scheme opens with a dramatic attempt on his life and premature report of his death, a plane crash that leaves him battered, bruised, but still breathing. It won't be his last close call over the 100 minutes that follow. Unsuccessful assassination is a running gag. Of the newcomers, Michael Cera makes the most memorable and funny impression as a love-struck, goofily accented Norwegian entomologist moonlighting as Korda's traveling assistant. Can this really be his first trip to Westworld? The Scott Pilgrim actor has an exaggerated neurosis that's a perfect fit for Anderson's gallery of melancholic cartoons, and he gets a fuller arc than most of the other there and gone caricatures. For all the balls it puts in the air, The Phoenician Scheme is fairly straightforward, even a little flimsy compared to this great director's body of drolly singular comedies. I found myself missing the intricacy and structural sophistication of his other recent work, like the movingly meta Asteroid City or the underappreciated omnibus The French Dispatch. If there's a tension, it's between Anderson's affinity for silly slapstick, including a hilarious game of horse in an underground train tunnel, and his more macabre sensibilities. Somehow, this is both his breeziest confection in years and his darkest, treating sudden death as comic punctuation. Is that a reflection of the ruthless worldview of a man like Korda, who sees almost everyone as expendable to his appetites and ambitions? Or is Anderson simply getting in touch with his creative debt to the morbid illustrations of Edward Gorey, emphasis on gory given one splattery sight gag? A new Wes Anderson movie is always an event, but the writer-director's latest whirligig comedy, The Phoenician Scheme, may be his slightest in a couple decades. Benicio del Toro is predictably deadpan, maybe too deadpan, as a powerful 1950s European robber baron beset by assassins and intent on passing down his entire empire and inheritance to his estranged daughter. Much of the rest of the extended Anderson acting troupe shows up in minor roles as usual, while Michael Cera makes a particularly amusing debut in Westworld as a Norwegian bug expert along for the wild ride. As with all of Anderson's comedies, this one has big laughs, visual invention, and some startlingly dark moments. But it also can't help but look like a minor disappointment after the richer Asteroid City. The major problem? There's just not much to Del Toro's character. A Royal Tenenbaum without the spunk. The Phoenician Scheme's IGN score? 7 out of 10. Thanks for listening to IGN. My name is Tony Jackson, and for the latest game, TV, and movie reviews, visit us at IGN.com.
Spoken Layer.